everyone. The SPY gapped up this morning. So the level to watch would be the 414.26. We are over top that fib level. DI has some news coming in on it. A lot of the Chinese names are up this morning. Li Auto is up almost 9%. So there's a few names to keep an eye on. KDP is up. The Keurig Dr. Pepper. It's another name we can keep an eye on. Doesn't have a lot of liquidity in that name for options. A lot of the tech names are up. Obviously, the market gaps up. Most names move with it. So the crude's up this morning. Futures are up. Crypto's up. We still have about 65% of the stocks are below our 200 MA. The S&P 500 on flow is leaning towards the bearish side. The SPY, the biggest order that we picked up was that 13.7 that we seen a little after 11 o'clock Friday. So a $13.7 million bearish order. Once again, they're hitting that July 15th 393 level. This was the same type of orders coming in for the same strike that we talked about Friday morning, and we were expecting a pullback on. I also want to note that Friday afternoon after close, we had a lot of dark pool activity coming in for the tech names like Microsoft, Apple, AMD. Very heavy for AMD. Microsoft had over $1 billion. So this could be, they may have known we were going to gap up. They could have been buying, they could have been selling. There's no real way to know until we let some price action get put in. So let's take a minute and look at a few of our charts. So this is AMZ. We played this like a Friday ago and got a nice move up on it. Ever since then, it's been pulling back. If we break this 9 and 20 to the downside, if we do get below that, I would look for it to return back to the 10 range. So, we're at a big spot here with a lot of stocks. This is the put to call ratio. We have moved back towards the neutral, so we are in the neutral area right now. This is the McLaren oscillator, and this is for the NASDAQ. 200 is neutral, or 200 is still a little hot, but that's what we consider the neutral zone. We are at 216 right now, so the market is overbought right now still. Once again, this was one of the things we were looking at Friday morning to see the conditions of the market, and this led us to choppy bearishness, and that's exactly what we got. This is for the New York Stock Exchange. It is trading much cooler, so it's down to 158, which would be, once again, 200 is when we're starting to get in the bearish side, or actually overbought. So that's when we're expecting, we could see a bearish move, a pullback when we get in the overbought. So the New York Stock Exchange is neutral right now. The US dollar, it did hold this 50 push back above the 9, but the US dollar is in an uptrend. The market trades better when the dollar has cooled off considerably. We are pretty hot right now for the dollar versus the market, with crude up as well. So the dollar and crude both putting pressure on the market. This is the VIX. We've been short on it since right here, screaming UVXY puts, and it is still pulling back. We're under the 50 right now. As long as we stay under this 50-day, we are bearish on the VIX. The 9 and 20 are working their way down. We are, they're basically, we're seeing a trend change here. It's just going to take a little time to see, where the market's heading. We are hoping we are going to push up. We're hoping to see a, bear market rally. 81%. I seen a chart this weekend. I tried to go back and find it. I couldn't, but it was a chart saying that 81% of media was screaming for a over, a bear rally, basically an overbought rally, oversold rally. So we're looking to push on that. Not looking for new highs, but we are looking to push. But there is some names out here that look like they're struggling, like Apple right here. This was a big pullback on Friday. Put us below our major moving averages. Like I say, a lot of stuff is up right now, moving with the market. So hopefully we can get back above them and continue to push up. And I have no problems at all trading to the bearish side of the market. Puts pay just as well as calls. Sometimes they pay better. So this is Avi. We were calling for a pullback right here when it put in this higher low. It also had some bearish fundamentals, bearish price action. And if you look on the 15 right now, we formed a bear flag, flagging right into resistance. So we could be getting ready for another leg down. If you look at the daily, kind of looks like it putting in a little, pushing up a little bit here, putting in another high, lower high, to continue to push down to put in a lower low. Still worth watching. Seeing some, the big pharma has been super strong. For some of the names have been super strong in this market, and we're starting to see some of those names pull back. So that's another bearish way to look at ABBV, Avi, Affirm. This is bear flagging. We were trying to keep our eye, and still are trying to keep our eye on this payment sector. It's very beat down, but some of these names have been getting some attention. You can see, the volume is why we're still watching this. So we come down, almost fill this gap down here, and then continue to push up. So right now we pushed right into resistance, pull back to the other side of this little channel that is starting to trade in, which the channel is actually a bear flag. The way the angle of the flag is, we're pushing right up into resistance. And you can see pretty flat the last 2 days. We have not, had a very large range here. We pushed up Thursday nicely, but then after the initial push up, we just basically traded sideways, actually pulled back a little bit Friday, give up most of, well, about half, 2/3 of Friday's move. This is AMC's 15-minute chart. You can see it's downtrending. So you're getting lower lows. You have a low heading down for lower lows. You're just basically going into a downtrend. But we do know that we have moving averages on our daily chart that we have to watch, that are acting as support. You can also see this move up this morning wasn't as strong as a lot of the others. AMD just been super powerful. It did push up to almost 109 and pull back to the 106 area. 106.30 is the 20 moving average on your weekly chart. So that was resistance last week. We did gap up this morning. Looks like it's starting to roll a little bit. But if we can gap over, which we did this morning, if we can gap over and hold that 20 on the weekly, it's a good chance AMD can push up. Hopefully it will participate in the bear market rally. This is Amazon. It is splitting. Amazon is trading at a $1.22 right now. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to maybe see if this thing will run a little bit. A lot of times after the stock split, you'll have people piling into it that want to invest that couldn't afford it at $2,500 a share, but now can afford it at a $1.22. On average, that number is going to change today as they're changing shares or adding shares. doing all the math, all the behind the scenes stuff. So we do have a gap here that we can watch for if this thing does try to push. Apple, see it come down here, it's formed a little base, put in a bottom down here, gapped up over resistance this morning. See if we can hold the 147 area.
Realty Trust increases quarterly dividend to 27 cents a share.
Apologize, that is our squawk. It is live for the Discord daily. We have two squawks live for the Discord, or two squawks actually in the Discord. So we're watching news with two different companies. So this is Boeing, big move on Thursday, held in Friday. Boeing has a really hard time holding its pops right now. Would love to see some turnaround in the company and to see the company do better. You see this morning we got right back into resistance, breached it. So right now, let's look for, I don't even have the, basically I guess the 140.50 area to hold for support. If that can hold, we could push up today. BTU, this is one of our coal stocks, still holding these moving averages here, still worth watching. Cliff, you can see we gapped up here this morning. It's not textbook, but shoulder, head, shoulder. It's not textbook, but we could, if we breach this, we could see a pullback. It's still, you know, just because the pattern's not textbook, it's still worth watching. And a lot of the metal stocks, I did a video yesterday. You can draw a bear flag through here. So a lot of these commodity stocks for the material sector, the actual metals, AA is one of the ones I covered yesterday. They are starting to look bearish. We could be seeing a nice pullback on those. Still a gap up here if we can push into it. Let's keep an eye on this gap, because this could be looked at as a double bottom here on the 15 as well. So, you know, we're at a big area. A lot of stocks are just at big areas here, you know, waiting on the moving averages to catch up. Unfortunately, the moving averages have caught up with Cliff, and it is pulling back. So just not seeing the momentum, you know, and you can see the momentum in the MACD fading out. Just not seeing the momentum in these stocks as we are other stocks. There's really no need to trade them. We're looking to trade leaders. We're looking to trade stocks that are stronger than the market. If it's not leading, then we might as well trade the market. It has more liquidity in the SPY. We might as well trade that versus trading a stock that is underperforming the SPY. We are looking for leaders. This is the monthly chart. And you can, or I'm sorry, this is the weekly chart of Cliff. You can see we are right in between these two moving averages right now. And this is obviously the new candle. It's still early. We have not gotten this week's candle yet. We need to see where we open on that. CVX, just a beast grinding up. You can see even with all the drama coming in with oil, held in well, starting to push its way back up Friday. Energy was the place to be Friday if you were looking for longs. ExxonMobil, nice move Friday right into resistance. We tested it this morning, getting pulled back, so that's worth watching. GME, we have this nice little bear flag here, holding in better than AMD. I'm just a trader. You know, I'll trade anything. It's got a really nice setup here, a nice flag, high and tight flag. The 9's working its way up. We're holding the 50. The 9's working its way up. Moving on, expanding volume. You see right here, we moved on volume. We pushed up, getting volume coming into it now. You know, if we do push up here, the first target would be, or a major target would be the 200-day. We'd have to draw some lines on it to see if there's anything else in the way. You can see right here, this is the 15-minute for GME, so we're right back testing this area of resistance here. So that's what, you know, that is the area of interest to watch for this morning. If we take that level out, then we could push up. If we can't take it out, then of course we would expect a pullback or to range and trade sideways. The market's up this morning. The Chinese stocks are definitely up. We were posting stuff about that in the Discord at probably after midnight about how the Chinese tech companies were up in the Asian markets. Halliburton, one of our members got a 35% quick trade off of this Friday, just watching that cup and the breakout. See where it opens this morning. Check right now. Still holding in. It didn't gap up with the market. The Q's still building up, putting a base here. The 9 is curling up. That is a good sign. Watching the MACD for momentum. But the 9 and 20 we're holding that. I like the way the 9's curling up. Put in a little rounded bottom here. Can we push up is the thing. I still think it's possible for us to get up to the 50s, the 50-day. Once again, we're just looking for an oversold rally here. So we have a gap up here we could go for if we do push today. Let's watch this gap right here. I should have some price stickers on it for us, but I don't. We are up above support. So we did gap up, trying to hold this support. Looks like we just got below it, trying to hold the moving average here. Looks like the 9 coming up. Definitely worth watching. So let's keep an eye on let's get a target here. The 110-ish area looks like 110.15 is a little below it. I believe that 110.68 is a little high. So right now it looks like we are just under resistance. TLT, we do have a bear flag. This is the 20-year bond. We do have a bear flag. We have broke to the downside and then pushed back up. It's worth watching. It would be a big help for the market if the bonds were strong. IWM, you can see we gapped up over top resistance here. IWM's been pushing up. You can see Thursday it pushed up, cooled off, just like everything else. Give back just about half of the move. Gapped up this morning, so we're back above. We're actually above this area right here. So let's see if we can push today. MRO, like a lot of other oil stocks, it's flattened out. Tried to push Friday right into resistance. Facebook, right now, unfortunately, I am bearish on Facebook. When Cheryl Levin is kind of like, I guess the best way to say it is like the babysitter in the room, the adult in the room. So I just don't feel like that's good for Facebook at all. I did hear that she does not agree with the whole metaverse thing, the name changing of the ticker. She actually worked for Google as well at one time. Facebook actually pulled her from Google and helped turn the company around. Things were going good, and apparently she doesn't agree with the metaverse, and I'm not too sure how I feel about it either. Either way, watching Facebook, we lose these moving averages. We are looking for Facebook to pull back. Some crazy price action down here. Watch these candles. Draw a line here. What I would do is get a line down here and watch your 180-ish area if we do pull back. See if we can get a better look on the 15. You can see we come down to the 190, pushed up. So that would be the area to watch for right now. Tickers are all over the place. 192, 39-ish area for support. You can see your 9 MA is pulled right up underneath your price. Your 200 right here is resistance right now. and that's on year 15. You can see MRO took a couple days off, pulled back, super strong. Didn't even pull back to the 9 yet. Still trying to push. Even the heavy volume day really didn't slow it down. That's heavy bearish volume. Really didn't slow it down at all. We didn't even come back to the 9. Still worth watching. Still a very strong stock. You see Oxy kind of trading this little wedge here. Broke out of it Friday, was strong right into the 71.23-ish area, the resistance level, and that's a level that's been on the chart. And grinded up throughout the day after the initial pop. Oxy's daily, super strong, has been pushing up. It's been on our radar. We've been trading it daily since November. Let's see, SoFi. You can see it was struggling with resistance right here. It did push up. Now we did come back to the support area at 6.9, basically the 691-ish area. Push right back into the 706, 707 area. So that is resistance. If we can take that out, maybe we can push up today. The chart's looking more and more bearish. Cannot take a lot like Facebook, have still unable to take this downtrend out. So we lose this 20-day, we can start looking for short plays. We have a gap to fill down here. It's definitely worth watching, especially if we do lose that 20. We'll watch for a gap fill. SPY, strong day Thursday, still chopping around, waiting on this 9 to catch up, just like the Qs. Nice rounded bottom down here. Trying to push, so basically we've got a little flag here. Thursday's candle kind of messes it up, but we're still putting a little flag in here. The 9 is swooping up like this. We need the 9 to catch up to the price and try to push us up. I still think there's a chance that we can push to the 50-day, see how we act there. If we do push, I mean, like I say, when you have the whole market screaming oversold rally, then like 81% of the media screaming oversold rally, oversold rally. A lot of times that's what's happening because that's what people are thinking. That's bringing the buyers back in. Just to note a few things. So the SPY, we're at a big area here, but on the daily, on the weekly, 416.99 is the 9 MA. Got to keep an eye on that. That is resistance. On the 20, on the monthly, the 20 MA is 418.70, and of course, those numbers were taken off a chart yesterday. Those numbers will change. The weekly number will change because we get a new weekly candle today. So definitely that's worth checking on. Make sure you jot that number down as we're watching the SPY today. That will be an area. This is the SPY weekly chart. You can see right here we're right into the 20. So just want to point that out. Let's keep an eye on that today. Tesla, as of right now, we're still bearish on Tesla. Not that I would ever put a long-term bet in against Mr. Musk, but I will take some very, very, very short-term trades. See what we do today. As of now, we have gapped up, as you can see, moving with the market. Got a nice gap down here, though, so if we can't take this resistance level out, we could pull back. So right now, we are right into a resistance level. I don't have a price ticker on it, but gapped up to 429. UNG, natural gas is up today. Starting to get a little concerned about natural gas. I don't have the daily chart. Upstart, want to keep an eye on Upstart. I covered this in yesterday's video. We could be putting in a double top right here. This would be your neckline if we do move down. We are not putting in a higher high as of yet. The 9 and 20 is still support, but our moving averages are not really turning up, and I don't really feel comfortable with that. I just have a feeling that these, they were coming after these beat down payment names. Now it seems like they're kind of wanting to leave them alone. So seeing some bearish side in some of these names. You can see we did gap right up, moving with the market, gapped up into resistance. So everything is gapping up into resistance. Draw your pre-market levels. If we stay in these areas, draw your pre-market levels. You know, if we push up, we talk about this in a discard. If we push up out of those levels, we're bullish. If we pull down below those levels, we're bearish. Wells Fargo, bank's not doing much. I do want to note that I did see for Bank of America and Citibank, I've seen some dark pools coming in. ExxonMobil, just a beast. Zim, this is a nice looking chart. Very nice looking chart. This was featured in Investors Business Daily over the weekend. I did see an article in there. Not that we don't follow, but it is just good to know what other people are thinking in the market, but we don't necessarily follow. But you can see we're trending up. You're getting higher highs, you know, higher lows. Most likely, you know, very, very good chance we're getting ready to put in a higher high here. If you go back and look at the 15-minute chart, looks really good. Let's go back, heading the wrong way here. So we're looking strong here. We gapped up this morning above. We're still holding support. So we can push today. It's definitely worth watching. I hope to see everybody in the trading room. This video is longer than normal. We will get it cut back for the morning so everybody can run through these and get some trading ideas very quick. I hope to see you in the trading room today. Have a good day. Hope everyone's green.